You can actually get the transverse jump from the academy, but you will need to pick up a specific mission for it. All I will say is it involves a rescue mission. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Well, in that case, then, I guess I may as well go with sensors. This will also give me high-resolution sensors, which I can add to my ships to give them me a better ability to see things. And the ability neutrino detector. Detect in-system entities at very long range. Unreliable with false readings. I mean, we could pick it up. Thanks to you, I'm buying this. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to go with sensors. There we go. Right, let's continue out. Let's try and dodge around the nebula because they are slow. We'll continue to try and burn towards our target. Yeah, see your enemy before they see you. Exactly. Information is power. Right, we wanted to be at Nachiketa, I believe, unless I misread it. Also, a bunch of new things just happened. Some analyze quests, bounties on them. Mercantile convoy. If we want to be a smuggler, I believe... I don't really fully understand the mechanism by which... Because this is saying your contact at Yama let you know that a hegemony mercantile convoy is preparing for a voyage and will soon depart for Betis. 10 days until departure. On the outward trip, they will carry food, consumer goods, and luxury goods. And on the return trip, they'll carry marines. Now, I don't quite know what mechanic dictates when you get that kind of information, but I believe it is probably tied to how well liked you are in the colony. So I think like if you've got a really poor standing with that faction, you're not going to get convoy information. Like, you've got no contacts there because no one likes you. I don't know, though. Oh, do you just get it by being near the sector? Oh, okay. Okay, that's useful info. All right, so I want to be over there. Let's slow down so I can change direction properly. Yoink. Alright, let's have a look at this system. Oh, it's his beak. Okay. How is this even close? What? How does... I don't even. Fine. I should... Well, I'll slow down just so that we don't waste supplies. There we go. Generally, pirating with a transponder on is bad. Yeah. That seems rather obvious. Are you saying that for a specific reason? Did someone in chat ask that question, or should I assume that you were trying to tell me that? Not to be funny, but that's like saying the water is wet, or the fire is hot, or ice is cold. I mean, to be fair, on occasion, these things might not actually act the way one would expect. So I'm not going to completely call it out as being, well, that's useless information, because there may be times when you'd expect the water to be wet, but it's not. Because you have actually been coated in some sort of hydrophobic membrane. You try to put your hand in the water, and the water just says nope, and doesn't get anywhere near you. You're repulsing the water molecules, and then you're, what? I'm still dry, though. What is this? It's like, but Right. I can't carry much of this, but what I can carry, I shall. Plonk. There we go. So a full 490. I approve. Right. We wanted to go over to Magic to fill up on supplies. Okay. Technically, we never touch anything. I mean, we're getting into spacey wacy sort of stuff now. So Aavak, I think I'm going to head off to sleep. I do want to thank you for getting me into Cataclysm DDA several years ago. I have recently decided to have a game with a Magicalism mod. While I didn't take it, one starting profession I did note is the Wildborn Rider. Is it Rider or Raider? Whose description starts with abandoned at a young age and raised by a moose. It starts you with a pet moose and a few druid spells. That sounds amazing. A pet moose? My lord. Have a good night, sweet orange bunny. Thanks for dropping by. Right. Okay, well, that's all we need right now. I can, of course, dip into the bar. There's a high-ranking officer who would like a word. You recognize a high-ranking officer of the hegemony in a private booth, and it looks like they recognize you because an adjunct is sent over to invite you over for a word. You follow the adjunct to the private booth. They give a salute and redeploy towards the bar. Captain, Colonel Ares Demos greets you without flourish. Please, do sit. Make yourself comfortable. He motions towards a pitcher of cool, clear water. He is always on duty from the looks of it. Stratcom requires an irregular force to disrupt the orbital works at Captain Starworks for at least 60 days. A few flicks on a datapad and a holomap floats above the table. The intel is comprehensive. Estimated garrison stats and deployment disposition. The target is 13 light years away. The Special Operations Officer has agreed to pay 41,000 credits if you can complete the mission. You examine the data and estimate that roughly 150 Marines would be required to pull off this operation. The hegemony colonel watches you make your calculations, patiently awaiting your response. Colonel Ares Demos. Do we need more military references? I never do. You can always do a few more military references. Should we grab this one? Hey, Belial, how you doing, buddy? Satish, thank you very much for the 17 months. I mean, right now, we don't have that much. I'm going to decline it for a second. I don't feel that we have the sort of, troop transport capabilities to make that work for us. So I'm going to say no on that one. Sadly. Now, I didn't like how this wolf melted. I'm going to run a simulation. What was it against? I think it was against an assault cruiser. And I'm going to set it to autopilot because I just want to see what it does. Was that a fluke? Basically is what I'm looking for. Because it melted. See, that's what I expect it to do. Is to duck out of the way. Not get pinned and then annihilated. Now, it no longer has the phase skim. It's got one charge. That particular enemy is just never going to be easy for this to deal with. That's fair. It's got too much firepower there, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, against that particular enemy, it was a foregone conclusion. Let's stick you against something a little bit less nasty. Hammerhead isn't that much less nasty, actually. Sure, let's pop you against a standard combat freighter. Actually, a wolf is about 5, so... Well, let me find something I can have you fight that is going to be a reasonable contest. It doesn't look like I've got much of an option when it comes to these things. Okay, it's roughly twice of this wolf's deployment cost. But yeah, I would say 2 wolves would have been able to do some real damage to that thing. Based on them being able to flank. You know, literally, you know, wolf pack tactics. Two of them would have been able to use their phase drives to maneuver around it and engage. Yeah, the best this wolf is able to do is harry this this enemy. Let's have a look at what 2 of them would be able to do. Actually, I'm not sure I can run a simulation with 2 of them without having 2 of them. Never mind. We'll hopefully get a second frigate. We need some more frigates to be able to build up our frigate fleet, basically. Matt Edge, thank you very much for the 12 months. 12 months on Twitch, 6 years of watching you on YouTube, though. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And, of course, to Bilal as well for the 76 months. This number is getting stupid now. I agree. It's getting very, very, very big, yeah. Yeah, I can use allies in Sims, but I can't, like, put two wolves in there, for example. And I'm not really looking to find out how this does. I mean, you know what? For the sake of just seeing what it would be like, I guess I could deploy this and just have a watch. But what I was wanting to know is how it would be if I had two Wolf class frigates. But it's not like an actual simulation. It's just of what I have available to see how that's going to engage. We'll see how this fight goes down. If I use... No, I can't use shift inside of a... Wow. Goodbye, drones. Splat. I don't think any kind of missile weapon, or indeed drone weapon, is ever going to get in there. That being said, well done, little missile. You did it. But yeah. That thing has got way too good point defense. Anyway. We will probably win that fight. I'm going to say. Unless it got a lucky hit and then it would have been all over. But we probably would have won. Gun goes brrrrt. Yeah, I know, right? All of the decker, all of the time. Right. Well, as we said, we're going to go over to Magic, which is now well within my travel distance. That said, though, we could go up here. I've got to deploy the spy set. I've got to acquire the artifact. Deploy the spy set. Got a bounty 102 days. That bounty will be there for as long as it wants to be there, basically, and then it'll go away. But it can go away at any point. Let's quickly do these, then I'll swoop back over to Nachikita to pick up some more fuel, and then we'll head up top. We'll focus on doing bounties instead of just random whatever I feel like, because that'll be the difference. I know I haven't put the next episode up yet, but that will be the bigger difference between this and the last. Sorry, and my Let's Play on YouTube. Is on YouTube, I'm doing a little bit more of whatever I feel like, basically. Some of that involves raiding pirates. A lot. I feel a little bit bad. I feel quite bad about it, actually. Because the pirates are not recovering. I think I may have dealt them a crippling blow. Which is sad. Because I didn't want to completely get rid of their space station. I just wanted to take some things out of it. But I may have taken too many things out of it over too long of a period of time and caused a destabilization of the pirate station. Which means that there is no longer going to be a pirate station unless they can recover. Which, much sad. It is 100% the situation of the vampire eating too many of the townspeople and then having no more townspeople to eat. Super sad. Right. Right, no, this is Aztlan. Hello, crew. It's like, Aavak, I am here. I very well. A little bit of cash there. It's offset the cost of my fleet. Now, one of the things that who be you? Why have I still got my transponder on? Oh, silly. But thank you very much for the tip there, Lady Sheila. Don't forget to take a tea break at some point, or you're gonna end up with a huge recording again. That is absolutely true. Yep. On the plus side, the difference between this and Mountain Blade is that although this is Mountain Blade in space, it is also very much a 2D Mountain Blade with significantly easier textures to encode. A 6-hour video of this would probably a fraction of the size of a 6-hour video of Mountain Blade. Right, I need to have a quick look at where I'm going in this sector. Garnier in the Corvus system. So I actually do need to go and speak with the pirates then. So it's going to be this one. I will keep my transponder on briefly. Uh-oh. Wait, okay. There is bad news bears going on down here. First and foremost, transponder off. Secondly, try not to get yoinked. Move quickly. There we go. Now, I don't want to be known for what I'm doing. So let's try and just move around them if we can. Yoink. Oof. Talk with pirates? Indeed. Aavak have normal hours. I know, it's crazy, yeah? Twin ion cannons tend to be a very useful combo. Small chance to arc through the shield and disable stuff if you get their hard flux up. Okay. Right. I would like to open the comm directory, as I have someone I need to speak with. Andon Titan. The comm signal struggles to establish through the ill-maintained local network. Patchy decryption artifacts glitch spasmodically to resolve into a face of the pirate contact. I prefer to think of myself less as a pirate and more as a facilitator, he explains after you perform a perfunctory greeting. There will always be an underworld. I imagine the chaos if there were no guides to assist you in navigating these dark storms and eddies. His slow smile reveals diamond teeth. How can I guide you today? Diamond teeth. Ask about a certain piece of technology. Ah, I've been expecting you. He seems to examine you through the display. A bit rougher than what I expected from Galatia Academy, but this new direction is one I can respect. Takes a drag from a drug particulizer. Yes, I have your package for you. A mere finder's fee of 74,000 credits will allow me to release it into your custody. That is not what we agreed on. Now, either I confront or I spend a story point. That wasn't a deal. The pirate titan is taken aback. Why, Captain, perhaps you're new to how things are done around here. We all have an angle. What's yours? Puts a finger to his chin in pretend contemplation. A no-nonsense straight shooter come to carry out the deal by the letter. You'll see the sector put right in no time. He gives a mocking look and sighs. Just this once, perhaps. 40 credits will do. And it's because I admire your idealism. You suspect he doesn't. Before you can respond, he claps his hands and addresses you full on once more. Accept my revised offer, Captain, or leave us both disappointed. Decline and cut the comm link. Decline, but trace the comms for a target for a marine raid. Oh, I've already had the marines. But no, this is what we agreed. Except, I am so very pleased that we could come to an agreeable conclusion, the pirate says. My people will arrange for a cargo transfer at once. Turns away, stops mid-gesture, and looks back at the display. And Captain, I'm so sure we shall do business again. Very soon. The comms image freezes on the pirate's diamond smile. Dissipates halfway into a hacked Tritackian holding pattern, then blackens. Your logistics officer reports a shipping pickup ping from the local traders' concourse. A neatly packaged crate bearing a logo of the Galatia Academy and only a few embedded jags of stray shrapnel is soon on board your flagship. Okay. I just use Marines to solve the issue. Well, I mean, that's always an option if you have Marines. I do not, though, so a little bit less easy for me to go for. Let's have a look. That's actually not a bad price. It's cheaper than I paid for previously. Couple of items here. Heavy armor. Does this colony produce anything? It produces mining, but it's... Oh, right. Okay, yeah. It's producing volatiles. But it's got 55 defenses. That's actually not that many defenses. I guess we might be able to do a marine raid. Let's hire some marines on the pirate station and then raid the pirate station with said marines. Okay, I need to go on a brief tea break, though. It has been 2 hours and a half since we had one, and now is as good a time as any for us to take this opportunity to refresh our drinks. So, I shall leave you with a screen of the colony info. Well, actually, no. I shall leave you on a screen of something. Let me see. I guess this one will have to do. But we're going to go on a tea break for a couple of minutes. I shall return with a fresh drink, and I hope you take the opportunity to stretch your legs and go get yourself a drink if you don't already have one already. And I shall see you shortly. Hopefully you all had enough time to get your drinks. I've got a humongous cup of tea. Lady Sheilab actually was very kind enough to pop down and make for me. She already had the kettle on by the time I got out of my office. She did ask if I thought chat would enjoy it if she brought Athena and Ares in to play around the room in the background just to let them have a run. But I haven't got my camera set up. So you just hear a lot of things, and that would almost be torturous, really, being able to hear but not actually to see. Lady Sheilab, everyone will mind Aavak. Oh yes, of course. I need to save. That's a very good point. Very good point indeed. Okay, I'll quickly do that. Let's drop a save. Tonk. We have saved the caved. Now then, let's have a quick look. I should have everything I need. Can I verify that? Yeah, just got to return. That's fine then. We've also got to do this one. Got to deploy a satellite over there. But one of the things that I need right now is some more supplies. So, the best place to buy it would be Thule. Okay, so they've moved around a little bit. And this is going to be the case. Things are going to move around Quite a lot, actually. Well, Thule is in the direction that we need to go, I suppose. Yeah. This is where we need to set up the... Oops, let me just double check. Yeah, this is where we need to go and drop off the spy satellite. So sure, we could do that and then go on to Thule and pick up some extra supplies. Now, we don't really have a freighter, so trading is not really something we're going to be able to do much of just yet. But I'm... when we get to Thule, I may see if there are other commodities that I might be able to move around. Right, now, that all being done, I'm a little bit concerned about where I am. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. So, how about we move away from all of these peeps? And just try and stay away from... Our sensor profile is tiny right now. The way the sensors work, this is a game of kind of additive function. How should I explain it? In some games, when it's a contested roll, whether it's rolling dice or it's just contested values, you can sometimes have like a really common example is when designing some of the multiplayer games that I've done in the past, which had more of a kind of like sword and sorcery kind of theme. I was presented with the system of, do I have active defense skills? Do I have active combat skills? Do I have both? How do I make that work? So when someone has a certain skill level and makes their attack roll, can someone then have their defensive skill roll against it, and then is it like the best roll wins, or what do we do with that? In this game, you've got a very different system. Instead of a contest roll, so one side is rolling a number and then the other side is rolling a number and then they're trying to see who scored the best, my sensor profile is how good my senses are, and that doesn't change. There's no rolling dice. This is just a flat number. This is how good my senses are, and anything within that range I will see. However, that only considers how good my senses are at picking things up. When you're a good idea is perspective. A gigantic thing can still be seen, like with the naked eye. If you're just looking, towards the horizon, something the size of you at the horizon, you're not going to see it unless you've got an amazing eyesight, or you're looking through a telescope, maybe. But the bigger a thing is, the further away you can still see it. My eyes are only going to be able to pick up detail at a certain distance. That's how good my eyes are. But if something is gigantic enough, like the sun is really far away, but it's huge, so I can see it. That's how this works. My sensor profile is added to any ship's sensor strength, and that's how far away that ship can see me. And conversely, how far away I can see another ship is my sensor strength plus its sensor profile. There's no random numbers rolling. One number isn't competing with another. They are purely additive, and that tells me how far away something is. Aavak, what sort of tea are you enjoying at the moment? And Sam, I'm enjoying at the moment. Hi, guys. I made myself a cup of some lovely honey ginger tea. Lovely. It's hard enough to get Ares to wear his harness, let alone a GoPro. What you need is a ferret drunk cam. I shouldn't assume that ferrets behave themselves when having fun. Lady Shion responded, to a ferret, being naughty is how you have fun. I don't even think they consider it being naughty, frankly. I could just strap a GoPro to my head because I basically just have to run around watching them anyway. Yeah. I mean, maybe we need to make some sort of large community channel point goal. Lady Sheila, with a GoPro. Chasing around the ferrets. But yeah, that's how sensors work. So this ring around this ship here is how far out it can see me. But you notice that that's a little bit better right now, because suddenly my fleet sensor strength just jumped. It was like 50 and now it's higher, because I was in the magnetosphere of this planet, which was shielding me. And so it couldn't sense me that well, because my sensor strength was 1/4 what it was. And the moment I was far enough away from that it wasn't masking my sensor profile, this could suddenly almost attack me. But the moment I go in here, it's going to not be able to attack me again, because now I'm within the ring system, and the ring system is reducing my sensor profile by 3/4, and so on and so forth. And that's how that all works. It's actually pretty cool. I quite like this system. Right, let's continue moving through. There we are, and we should be over at this one in just a moment, and then I'm going to turn my transponder back on. And there we go. I think we should be good. Sustained burn should take me where I need to be now. Actually, maybe I should have pulled in the Jangala station and seen what their prices of supplies are. They're not on the list of good people to buy from. There we go. I guess we'll go this way. Oh, dear Lord, I didn't properly notice. Let's try and take the fastest route across this nebula that we can before we get pumped by a storm. There we are. Now, you don't really need your transponder on in hyperspace. There's no patrolling. I mean, they are patrolling, but no one has jurisdiction in hyperspace, so they can't demand that you have your transponder on. They might need you to turn it on in order to talk to them, though. That's definitely a thing that can happen. Now, near Syndria. Okay. So I need to find Syndria. That would be you. Let's cut my engines so I can make a sudden turn. Turn the transponder on, I guess. I need to have a look at what this is going to be like first. Because if I just shown up and they saw me, they might have been a little bit unhappy with me. Right, Sindri is over here. Oh, that's unfortunate. But actually, you know what? That is not necessarily as bad. I'm going to turn off my burn. I'm just going to move over in here. Oh, damn it. I just missed my opportunity, I think. Okay, that's a patrolling fleet. I'm going to need to wait for that to go all the way around again. Oh, that's going to be annoying. And because I'm fairly certain that they will not be happy with me if I don't have my transponder on. And yet... I'll wait. They may duck in there. Oh, no. They're going for sustained burn, as are they. They're all moving. If they move far enough away... Oh, no, that's unfortunate. No, they're all moving all over the place. Are they being raided, perhaps? Okay. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Right, they've moved far enough away. Shutting down my transponder. Fleet was recently detected or is currently being tracked. I'm being tracked by a nearby Dictat patrol. Really? They just popped out? Just as I went to interact. That is so annoying. Okay, they're moving away. Okay, I've got to move quickly. Boop. Deploy spy sat. There we go. Improved our relations with the hegemony. Up to 26 now. They are welcoming, which is quite nice. Turn on my transponder so I don't get in trouble. Now let's go ahead and dock with this station for now. Hey, Omega. How would this game be described? Newcomen asks. Probably the most meme-ish way of describing it is Mountain Blade in space. A more descriptive way of describing it, it is a sci-fi open-world sandbox game. There's elements of strategy, elements of RPG. It is on a fairly large scale, so it's not you have got a single ship and you are a captain of that single ship, and that is, you know, go out into the vastness of space and make your fortune. It is more you are a captain and you do captain a specific ship in a fleet that you construct, and that fleet can be enormous. There's lots of interplaying between different factions. There's exploration. You can have colony management, so on and so forth. Right, let's have a look what we have here. Thule is still the best place to pick things up, but it's always worthwhile checking. That's 91, which is 4 credits more than Thule. I might be willing to purchase it for that. This has got a local deficit of fuel, so that's not something I'm going to be doing. Local deficit there. Wow, have you got anything you haven't got? Oh, you've got a big deficit. Why? Trade fleets launched by Syndria have suffered losses, resulted in a temporary accessibility penalty of 1%. The local availability of some commodities have been reduced by trade fleet losses. Provided no further losses incur, commodity availability should return to normal levels within at most 3 months. So right now, they've got a commodity penalty of ore, transplutonic ore, domestic goods, volatiles, food, and luxury goods. Yikes, that's rough. That is bad news bears. Oof. That is sincere bad news bears. Actually, I think I will go ahead and pick these up. Now, I've got a decent amount of... Let's go up to about 135. There we go. That's going to give me plenty of supplies. It's 100... sorry, it's 100 days of supplies. Got a little bit of heavy machinery. What kind of prices are we looking at? These aren't bad prices, I guess. Could perhaps top up my heavy machinery a bit. And I think I would probably like to top up my crew as well. Okay. Decent bit of money spent there, unfortunately, but... Right, let's have a look at what ships you've got to buy, just out of curiosity. You've got some nice big tankers, chonky tankers, actually. That would not be a bad one to get for the massive fuel. Though they're slow comparatively. Maximum burn of only 8. We could improve that to 9, which is the speed of our fleet. But nothing else really there. We've got... Oh, actually, do they have crew... They do. A Nebula civilian transport. Or a mud skipper as well, which has a maximum crew complement of 100. This has a maximum crew complement of 400, which is, you know, quite nice. If we want to start raiding places, that's what we're going to have to look at. Oh, look at how sparkly shiny it is. Sparkly shiny. The rest, a bit less so. Oh, some wolves. I could pick up a wolf. Aavak, press F1 will help you determine the market regarding that particular produce, and the less distance to travel, the better your profitability. Yeah, that's actually what I've been doing. You may have missed it though. It's very easy to miss because I wasn't stopping, but that's how I was checking. Oh, this is a reasonable price, for example. When I said this is only about 4 or 5 credits more than the best price, that's how I knew what the best price was, is because I checked on here. But yeah, that's very good. That's a very good tip because it could easily be missed that you can press F1. You can press F1 on almost everything in this game, which is really nice. That's how I learned about this, is pressing F1 and seeing more information about it. Yeah, thank you very much for the use of the backseat pass there. I do appreciate it. Much appreciation. But, okay, so I could either pick up a civilian transport, not immediately useful for us, a mud skipper, a little bit more useful, would allow me to carry an extra 95 Marines, for example. And we could start potentially raiding some bases, but I don't think that's immediately gonna help us because I don't have the cargo means for that yet. I could pick up a freighter, so on and so forth. My lord. Starliner civilian 1,500 crew with a skeleton crew of 50. So 1,450 Marines is what I'm reading there. Or I could dip into the black market a little bit and maybe pick myself up a wolf or two. Why is that wolf more expensive though? Oh, that one's got a D mod. Okay, makes sense. So a small army, yeah, pretty much. Oh, the Valkyrie troop transport. Yeah, it has a special mod on it, I believe, which makes Marines twice as good. But, I mean, the thing is, you're right to say, you know, that would be better than one of these. But saying don't bother with this, wait until you get that, when you don't know how long it'll take to get that, it's kind of a false economy. And it's the same sort of false economy that keeps people, like when they're playing Eve, thinking, if I mine this ore and then build the ship, I get the ship for free. That's amazing. But that is false economy because it's like, okay, the amount of time it's going to take you to mine this ore and the cost of the blueprint and building the ship yourself, in the same amount of time, if you just mined the ore and then sold the ore to someone who wanted the ore, would you end up with more money than it would take to just buy the ship? 90% of the time, they would have. And I'm obviously not... I haven't done a massive poll and actually got, 9 out of 10 of you, this is the case. But it's a very large amount of people would do that, and then it would be like, okay, well, it's taken you like a week to get all the materials together by yourself, mining, to get this battleship. I ran, like, missions for 1 day and got enough money to buy that battleship and fully equip it. I ran missions for the next 3 or 4 days then, higher level missions, because I now had a battleship, and I've upgraded several times since then. I mean, yes, it is true. You made it all yourself, so it is quote-unquote free. But that time wasn't free. You know, that's the whole thing of false economy sometimes. I could wait for the Valkyrie transport ship, but in that time, I'm not using a regular transport ship and a freighter to raid pirate bases and making loads of money doing it, you know? It's one of those things. But I am really tempted to pick up this other wolf frigate. Mind you, they've got a bloody Shrike there as well. But that's a lot more money to lay down.